Hello, Bellevue Heights, and welcome to this week's edition of BHC Today. We are on the final day of our trip to Branson, and we are on a showboat Branson Belle, a riverboat that we are having a theater and a meal on beautiful Table Rock Lake in Branson, Missouri. I've always liked boats. Many of you know I lived on the Gulf of Mexico and love to go out on the ocean and the Gulf, or the Gulf of America, I say, and hear the water. I just love the water. And even in the Bible, I love stories about the water. And I'm thinking of this. And you remember Jonah? God told Jonah to go and witness to the people of Nineveh, and Jonah didn't want to do what God wanted him to do. So Jonah ran from God, and he boarded a boat towards Tarsus. You know the story, don't you? Because he didn't obey God and went his own way, he caused a great storm, and Jonah was on this boat, and the great storm came and it started to sink. And they said, whose fault is this? And all the lots fell to Jonah. And Jonah got thrown overboard and was swallowed by a great fish. And for 3 days in the belly of that fish until he threw him up on the beach. You know what I learned from that story? When God tells you to do something, you need to do it. So many times we fight with God, or we wrestle with God, or we know deep down in our heart God wants us to do something, but we don't want to do it. Listen to me, friends. The best thing to do is to do what God wants you to do. Well, how do you know what God wants you to do? Well, the Bible is our book. The Bible tells us how we're supposed to live and which way to go. I love the Bible to use the direction of my life. When I have decisions to make or don't know where to turn, I always love to turn to one of my favorite verses, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. It says, trust in the Lord with all of your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. That's a great verse to guide you in life. Listen to it again. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. That, my friends, is an encouraging word.